Alright, g'day guys, Matt Preston, Built Prado. Welcome back to another video. Now, very exciting. The guys at Bluetti have done it again. We've got another system, okay? But this one is different. It's not some massive, over-the-top 1800 watts like the AC180s. This is a bit more realistic, a bit smaller, and it is the AC70. Now, I think this one is somewhat recent, of a new model that's come out. And this is great if you just want to power not kettles or anything massive like that, but you know, laptops, like phones, that sort of stuff. It will blitz. Okay, so let's get to the unboxing. Okay, let's get into the unboxing. So at the top you have this foam panel. Now it's very similar to all the other Bluettis I've unboxed before. So in here you have your certificate sleeve of the Bluetti system, and then in here you have a little box. Now in here, it's same as all the other ones. I've realized you've got your 3 different cables here. So one, this is 240 volt to a charging, so you can charge in off normal power. Here as well we've got 12 volt to charging as well, so this is great if you want to charge it off the cars you're driving, something like that. And then this one here is solar, so you've got your connector on this end and then solar inputs. So for example, if I really wanted to, I could just unplug the solar panel on the roof, leave it up there, and then just plug this into it and I could charge Bluetti off the solar directly. Or I could just charge it off the inverter in the car, so or 12 volts. So you've got so many options and ways to charge, which is great. In this little bag as well, there's just a tiny little screw, and that is, if I'm not mistaken, it's a little earth bolt screw that you use, that you put, if you're putting an earth to this system, you can actually use that to tie the cable onto it. So in here now is just the system, that's it. Okay, here is the system itself. Now the first things I've noticed after having a few Bluettis, you can tell it's obviously smaller than the AC180, which is just an absolute beast, but also bigger than the EB3A, I'm pretty sure it's called, which is that smaller 600 watt built-in inverter. Whereas this one is a 1000 watt inverter, okay? Nice round number. So the one in the car is 1500 watts, so that's still got 500 more. So that should be able to run more power than this thing. But this is obviously modular, I can take it anywhere. Okay, so key differences of this, first impressions of looking at it, I can already tell it's a very new model. Why? Because I'm picking up on the little details, like the fact that all these holes are different, this side vent, and they've put the input for charging on this side here with the earth. So let's run through some little things about it. So for controls here, obviously up here in the top left we've got DC input. Now this is going to be for charging pretty much, okay? So you've seen those cables, they look a little bit different as well to the normal Bluettis. They don't normally look like this, but you've got that little yellow end. You'll see this charging cable used also for jump starter packs and that sort of stuff. But as you can see, that goes in there, no dramas at all, okay? So that's how you're going to be charging it with your solder and all that sort of stuff. But the 240 volt charger is on this side here, and you can just see it, 250 VAC just on the side there, okay? Now, it also has a little fuse panel on here, which is quite handy, which I haven't seen before, and that's obviously to change that fuse if you do blow it. Now also down here we've got DC outputs, obviously that's for anything 12 volt that you need to charge up, that will run that very nicely. And then down here you've got the sort of phone section, so USB type C 100 watt, then you've got 2 USBs 12 volt, and then another USB-C 100 watt. So that's really handy that they've put 2 on there, not just 1, because the EB3A, the one below this model, like the smaller one, only has 1. And there's been plenty of times where we could have easily had 2 and charged 2 phones quickly, not just 1. And then on the left here, you've obviously got your AC. These are your sort of 230 volt, it says on here, but 240 volt / 1000 watt inverter. So the inbuilt inverter will be running these bad boys here on the left. And the way you run this system is the same as all the others. You press the middle button, hold that for like 2 seconds, it turns it on. And then you can either press DC, and then that's going to turn on sort of this side of the unit, or you can turn that off and press AC, and you'll turn on just these 2 ports here. And you can hear it click, you can hear things happening inside. So now this will charge 240 volt appliances. Now the screen on here is also all updated. This is all new, which is really nice. So the screen's a little bit bigger, and it's a bit more in depth. So it's got 4 zeros either side to show input and output, whereas most of the other Bluetti systems only show 3. So they're giving you more information here, and the circle's just a different pattern, looks a bit more fancy. So as of right now, it's 55%, and it can do 38.4 hours. Now that's just it sitting here doing nothing. As soon as we put some load on it, it's going to change. Now I'll also say this one doesn't come with a wireless charging pad on top, so keep that in mind as well if you are buying one for that ease of access to charge your phone. This doesn't have one, but I found because my phone has a case with the metal ring on it, they never work anyway, so I actually never used that. I wasn't really too worried about that, but if you are into that, that's something to keep in mind. And then on this other side here, like I said before, got the charging for 240 volt fuses, and we've also got that little earth there, so if you put a wire to that, you can use that screw I showed you before to tie that on. And then on the back here, very simple, literally just information about the unit and what it can do. And this one's got a different handle. I do like the way they design the handles. This one, as you can see, it's one big long built-in handle to the shell. It doesn't stick out and it's not a moving part, so this isn't going to fail, which is really good because it's part of the shell. Whereas the smaller model, the EV3A, it has a handle that goes up and down, which is great because it sort of packs away, but also bad because it will just fail over time because it's a moving component. With this, it's built to the handle. It is a bit heavier as well, so it kind of needs that weight. And this other side's literally just a vent, and then underneath you just have some rubber feet. So that's pretty much the gist of the unit itself. Now let's do some power tests and see how it performs. Okay, here we go, trying to absolutely test the limit on this bad boy here. So here we have a double sliced toaster Sunbeam, pretty traditional, everyone's probably got one of these. And then here we have a kettle. Now this is the same one I used in the other Bluetti video, which was an AC180, and it did power this, but it did absolutely deplete the crap out of it. So it'd be interesting to see if this can do the same. I don't think it will, but we'll start with the toaster because that's easier. So I'm going to plug her in, AC power. So that is now on, it's just made a noise. So now we're going to put the toaster down. Instantly tripped. So it's flashing at me, it's having a hissy fit. So what we need to do now is turn off the AC and sort of reset it. AC, so I've turned the AC on, off and back on again, switched on. So we'll just lower this setting to the lowest. We'll try one more time. It's on, nah, trips. So there you go. So as you can see, this can't actually do a toaster, and it's 1000 watts. Now maybe that's expected, but if this was 1500 watts, it could have almost done that. So now, while we're here, we'll run the kettle, which is going to be an absolute mission. I don't think we'll be able to do it. AC back on. There we go. And we're going to turn the kettle on. 3, 2, 1. Gone. Yep. So it literally just can't do it, unfortunately, which is sort of fair enough because I'm asking a lot from a unit this size. This is really meant a little bit more for the smaller stuff like laptops, phones, that sort of stuff. So I won't actually power any of these at camp. Now granted, these are pretty extreme, you won't really have these at camp, but now you know its limits. Okay, so we're not saying this is bad. I've just completely like overloaded it and tried to do something that it shouldn't be able to run, and it's good. It's got good protection and it's worked, so that's important. So now we're just going to charge a phone. Pretty simple. Turn that on. Power, DC. USB type C to the Samsung, works instantly. Okay, so that's charging, you can't see that, but that will be fully charged in 50 minutes from 60%. So it does obviously charge normally. Now on the screen here, this is the nerdy part, it will tell you the input and output intakes as you charge. So I've just got charging off the mains right now, and you can see here it's doing an input of 454 watts, which is pretty impressive, and it also tells me in 0.7 hours that it will be fully charged. So you can see there it's on 55%, and it's got the little charging animation, which is cool. So pretty nifty that it can tell you that much information. And then you can see here on the right, that's AC input and output, and then the left is DC. So they've changed the layout a bit, which is nice. So if you're charging your phone, you only really have to look at this left side. And yeah, so it seems to be performing really nicely. And that will just sit off like that and it will charge. You can see there 65% until fully charged. And if I turn on here, you can see that the output for the phone charger is only 10 watts. Granted, it is in a slower USB output, whereas if I put it in a Type C with a Type C cable, that's going to be a lot more than just 10. So that's pretty cool, that's all working, and as you can see, it's simultaneously charging and depleting at the same time, but it's actually gone up a battery percentage regardless, so that's pretty cool. Okay guys, so that is more or less a pretty good rundown of the Bluetti AC70. So as you can see, a general summary of this is a great system if you just want to run sort of small things but have that extra sort of battery life and range, because this is essentially going to be doing very similar things to the similar one below it, the E3BA, and this is going to be pretty much a better version of it because it's just got that bit more battery capacity and it's also got the bigger inverter, and it's a little bit heavier as well, but it's still a nice compact, you know, slightly larger than a car battery sort of size, and you've got all the same cables, you've just got updated ports, and pretty much that's about it. So if you're charging absolute power hungry appliances like a toaster or kettle, which is pretty extreme, then maybe you want to opt for the big one, the AC180. But if you just want one like this that you can get you by, get you out of trouble, still charge laptops 10 times over, that sort of stuff, this is probably more of your style, and it's also a lot more compact, as you can see. So I'm pretty stoked with this. I'm going to be taking this definitely on my next camping trip next week, and I want to be able to charge the laptop, see how it goes, and also the camera, so it'll be very exciting to use. And yeah, if you like their stuff, you know, if you want more of the premium high-end battery power stations systems, Bluetti has sort of got that sector there, so this is more of the high-end sort of market, but it's also going to have the 5-year warranty and all the good quality components. So I'm super happy with it. Hopefully you guys can agree. If you want one, go check out Bluetti, go check out their website, you'll be able to see all the items that they have there. And yeah, until next video guys, hope you enjoy, and catch you guys next time on Prado.